All right, thank you, Joe. To the state capitol now, where Governor Lamont is preparing to roll out his budget proposal in a major address tomorrow.
He'll be announcing his plans for the state's next two-year budget. News 8 political reporter Mike Cerulli has the details.
On Tuesday morning, Governor Lamont was in Waterbury, rallying support from the business community in advance of his budget address, an address that's expected to build on his fiscally moderate approach to state spending.
There, I could, use your support.
The governor heaped praise on Connecticut's system of spending controls, often called fiscal guardrails. Whether or not to loosen those guardrails is a central sticking point in ongoing budget talks between Lamont and his fellow Democrats who control the legislature.
Thanks to those fiscal guardrails, which are strongly supported, I think, by most of the legislators in this room, we didn't spend beyond our means.
As the governor previewed his plan in Waterbury, back in Hartford, Republicans were gathering to roll out a plan of their own, one that would cut the income tax and roll back other fees.
On average, in the full phase-out of these tax cuts could provide about $1,000 in relief to the average family.
What does the governor think?
They have a way to pay for it. I'm all ears. I'd like to listen.
Republicans say they'll pay for the cuts in part by trimming back about $1 billion of sales tax exemptions the state provides and by temporarily freezing any raises for state employees.
Having a wage freeze for just 2 years to allow a little bit of a catch-up and provide a middle-class tax cut, I think is reasonably fair.
The Democratic State Senate president and the head of one state employee union said that's a non-starter.
Of course it's a non-starter. Absolutely.
We categorically reject this proposal.
And on the issue of rolling back certain tax exemptions, Democrats also objected.
The bulk of the tax exemptions are in groceries, prescription drugs, home heating oil, and natural gas.
Republicans argued that some of the state's other tax exemptions could go, and while they didn't commit to specific exemptions that could fund their proposal, they did list some possible targets.
There are exemptions for concession sales at Dunkin' Donuts Park. There are exemptions for sales tax for cigars in the state. Yes, those are small, but they're just examples because there's so many random carve-outs.
And Governor Lamont says he has his own plans for tax relief, not quite an income tax cut, but small business tax cuts. He'll outline those tomorrow in his budget address. We will, of course, follow all of it on air and online. Reporting at the state capitol, I'm Mike Cerulli, News 8.